The Maharashtra government has announced fresh coronavirus curbs after the state reported over 5,400 new cases. That's its highest single-day jump in more than 2 months. In a bid to contain the spread, the government has announced a slew of guidelines. In Mumbai, any building that has more than 5 cases will be sealed. Strict action will be taken against those who are found to be flouting home quarantine norms or marriage function restrictions. Moreover, 300 marshals will be deployed in local trains to take action against those who are travelling without wearing a mask. The government has also announced that it will ramp up testing in those areas reporting a high positivity rate of COVID-19. These guidelines come after Mumbai alone reported 736 cases of infection in the last 24 hours. That's the most in the last 7 days. In Amravati and Yavatmal districts, the Maharashtra government has announced a weekend lockdown from 8 p.m. on Saturday to 7 a.m. on Monday. This after the two districts saw a sudden spike in new cases. Let's get you the latest of the battle for Bengal. A day after a fiery face-off between Home Minister Amit Shah and Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, the Home Minister will today be addressing a rally on Didi's turf in Kolkata. Shah is on a 2-day visit to the port-bound state. So this is day 2 of his visit, and he'll be paying tributes to Biplabi Bangla, the revolutionary freedom fighter of West Bengal. He will then inaugurate an exhibition on the freedom fighters and then flag off a cycle rally also in the state. Shah on Thursday attended a series of events in Bengal and also flagged off the last phase of the Parivartan Yatra in the state. He'd also lashed out at Mamata, accusing her of promoting corruption and nepotism. Mamata, however, hit back almost immediately, vowing not to let the BJP form its government in Bengal. And in what will be a big development today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to be virtually attending a convocation ceremony of the Visva Bharati University today. The Prime Minister, who is also the Chancellor of this university, will be addressing the convocation event via video conferencing at 11 a.m. A total of 2,535 students will receive their degree during the ceremony. This will be the second time in 2 months that Prime Minister Modi will be attending such an event at the university. He delivered a speech at the varsity on the occasion of its centenary celebration on December 24th. Visva Bharati, that's located in West Bengal's Birbhum district, was founded by Tagore in 1921. It's the oldest central university in the country. And India today has busted the big nefarious bomb bazaar running rampantly in Bengal. What's worrying is that the bomb market makers say that they've reported brisk business ahead of elections. Here's our special investigation.
This isn't a standalone attack. Sporadic blasts like these now a recurrent phenomenon in pole-bound West Bengal. India Today's explosive investigation has found how easy it is for men like these to construct crude bombs and supply them to potential attackers, especially ahead of the elections. Punching holes for the fuse to fit in. The casings this man, Shah Jahan, is handling are no Diwali fireworks. No sophisticated plant, no laboratory, no safety gear. Sitting cross-legged on the floor of his home, Shah Jahan is building deadly devices with his bare hands. They're packed with shrapnel like nails, fins, nuts and bolts. Welcome to West Bengal's Bomb Bazaar, doing brisk business once again as voting nears.
आदमी को मारने से आदमी मर जाएगा। वो आपको एक टुकड़ा 100 रुपया करके लगेगा। आपका ये घर में फेंकेगा ना, ये घर छाप उड़ा देगा।
अच्छा, इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग?
हाँ।
और उसके बाद मैंने आपको ऑर्डर दे दिया तो 100 पीस कितने दिनों में मिल जाएगा?
4 दिन में।
The prices aren't stable, apparently because of high demand. In our next meeting, Shah Jahan quoted more than double the amount he sought earlier.
रेट बढ़ा देता है, 225 रुपया करके लगता है कुत्ते में।
इलेक्शन के बाद?
हाँ। इस टाइम माल देता है हम लोग रिक्स लेके, 1 नंबर चीज़ है। दूसरा नंबर चीज़ है, उसमें और ज़्यादा कुछ देना होगा।
उसमें और क्या क्या डालेंगे बारूद के साथ?
उसमें डालेगा जाल काटी, डालेगा
काटी,
पाथर डालेगा,
पत्थर।
हाँ।
और
टिब्बाजी डालेगा।
इसको जान पहचान है जैसे नेता? आप पार्टी को देते हो? आप पार्टी लोगों को देते हो या नेता लोगों को जान पहचान वाले किसको देते हो?
नेता लोग को भी देता है।
अच्छा,
नेता लोग को भी।
किस पार्टी?
दो पार्टी। बोलो दो पार्टी, लेकिन जान पहचान चांदन वाला तो नहीं देता।
ये वाला जो बम है अगर किसी को लगेगा तो उसको नुकसान दे देगा?
इलेक्शन का फंक्शन डेट हो जाएगा।
फंक्शन
We next found a dealer who offered not only crude bombs but also illegal firearms and mini homemade landmines. Shivam confessed that he's been supplying them to Maoists as well.
क्या? मैं बिजनेसमैन है।
बिल्कुल
ठीक है। हम लोग टिफिन बॉक्स में भी माल बना के लैंड माइंड कर दिया।
कहाँ? लैंड माइनिंग मतलब जमीन के नीचे डाल दिया?
जमीन के नीचे।
किसके लिए?
मेदिनीपुर में ये
मतलब का इलेक्शन के टाइम?
इलेक्शन का टाइम नहीं, माओवादी जब काम करता था लैंड माइंड कर कुछ हम भी माल दिया था।
कितने का पड़ेगा एक बम?
वो ऊपर जाएगा 100 रुपये का पीस।
एक पीस पावरफुल होगा?
ऐसे बारूद फटेगा। नुकसान करना चाहिए तो उसमें कांटा पेरे मेरे घुसा ना होगा। कांटी पेरे, कांच का टुकड़ा ये सब देना होगा तब नुकसान होगा। अब 130 रुपये का।
तो उसमें आप क्या क्या डालेंगे?
कांटी डालेगा, कांटी डालेगा, कांच डालेगा।
अच्छा,
टीना रूना डालेगा।
टीना?
टीना।
अच्छा,
काटा हुआ टीना होता है ना।
हाँ।
घोड़ा वाला ले लीजिए।
बंदूक?
हाँ
है आपके पास?
हाँ।
किधर है?
तो बंदूक है। हाँ, मांगा देगा क्या?
पिस्टल?
पिस्टल देसी।
हाँ।
7-8 हज़ार।
At our second meeting with him, Shivam admitted that his illicit activities grow every time there's an election on the horizon.
माल करना है तो अभी से माल कर लीजिए। इलेक्शन का टाइम में देखिए माल का रेट बढ़ेगा, माल ठीक ठाक नहीं होगा।
लोग भी डिमांड कर रहे हैं ना?
हाँ, बहुत डिमांड होगा। अभी इस साल में तो दोनों पार्टी एकदम कड़क लाएगा। दोनों पार्टी का ही माल अभी से चल रहा है।
आ गया आप लोगों का ऑर्डर? आ गया?
हजार सभी चाहिए। हम काम करने वाला है, कोई मेरा ये नहीं है। कैंडिडेट पैसा देता है, कैंडिडेट थोड़ी आएगा।
At Bardhaman, Shafiq admitted that he had stored up to 700 homemade bombs and grenades for sale ahead of the election.
विराट पावरफुल होगा, फाड़ देगा, माटी का खल कर देगा, दलान घर का फाड़ पे दे।
दलान का घर फाड़ देगा? घर फाड़ देगा?
फाड़ देगा वो।
और आदमी पे फेंके तो
वो मर जाएगा। अलग
आपने बना कर रखा हुआ है?
हाँ।
कितना रखा हुआ बना कर?
वो नहीं सुनना चाहिए। 600 होगा, 700 भी होगा।
600-700 रखेंगे?
हाँ, रखेंगे।
बना कर अभी रखा?
अभी रखा हुआ है।
ये कौन सा होता है, पेट्रोल बम होता है या फिर
पेट्रोल
पेट्रोल होता है?
एक माल है, लीजिए 1000 रुपया का, ऐसे निकालेगा एक तो थोड़ा सा ऐसे कर दीजिएगा, फट जाएगा। तो का कारण है, कारण सिस्टम है अंदर।
अच्छा, तो गैनेट बोलता है,
इसका गैनेट बोलता है। 1000 का नाम है, एक का दाम।
फोटो मत बनाता है।
देखिए, इलेक्शन डिक्लेयर होने से पहले नहीं जानना चाहिए।
Crude shocks to law and order happening over and over again. High time authorities crack down on these bomb factories of Bengal. With Mohammed Hizbullah, this is India Today's special investigation team.
Let's also get you all the updates this morning on the Unnao shocker, where 2 Dalit girls were found dead in a field in the Unnao district of Uttar Pradesh. The police have now registered a murder case based on the complaint of the victim's family. This comes after the initial autopsy confirmed that the 2 girls died due to poisoning. There is a third victim also. She is currently undergoing treatment in a Lucknow hospital, is said to be in a very critical condition. The bodies have been handed over to the family after the post-mortem was conducted. The deceased girl's father, meanwhile, has recorded his statement before the police. He claimed that the 3 girls were found lying in the field. He also claimed that scarves were tied around the necks of the 3 girls. The SC Commission has, however, sent a notice to the UP Top Cop and also sought a report on the latest in the investigation front. Over to the latest updates also in the Toolkit case that's being probed by the Delhi police. India Today's Chaiti Narula spoke exclusively to Peter Frederick, one of the influencers mentioned in the Toolkit that Greta Thunberg tweeted. He says that he's done nothing wrong and denied having any links with terrorists.
Peter Frederick, also known as Peter Singh, Patrick Nevers, Peter Flanagan, a foreign activist who rubs shoulders with terrorists and finds prominent mention in the contentious Greta Toolkit, making him a prominent accused in the Delhi police investigation into whether the infamous Toolkit helped stir chaos in India on January 26th.
In 1984,
the author and activist is well known for spewing venom against India, no matter who is in power, and has been on Indian security radars since 2006. But it has taken India today to draw him out and face questions he normally ducks. First off, on his involvement, he of course denies the allegations. But on his ties with designated Khalistani Bhajan Singh Bhinder, he makes the admission on national television.
You know, Bhajan Singh is a longtime friend. He is among many of the South Asian origin friends.
Bhajan Singh Bhinder, the terrorist who was funding attacks in India, he's been associated with OFMI, and you say you're a good friend of his. I'm unable to understand why wouldn't you come out clear with your relationship with Bhajinder Singh Bhinder?
But Seti, I would come back to you and say, you keep using this word terrorist, and I think that you and I may have different definitions of what a terrorist is.
That's right. He's best friends with a man officially designated a terrorist by India. That should really be enough to know where he stands. But we questioned him further about the contentious Toolkit and Zoom call that Indian activists had with Khalistan supporter, as alleged by the Delhi police sources.
I want to understand what was discussed on the alleged call, if there was one, and who all were there on this call.
You know, Chaiti, I would ask why the Delhi police isn't using their time to catch murderers and rapists instead of chasing its tail, trying to figure out who may have attended this mythical Zoom call, this mythical Zoom meeting.
What is your link with M.O. Dhaliwal and Poetic Justice Foundation? The Delhi police has alleged that you did indulge in a conspiracy with them.
Who is Mo Dhaliwal?
Will this man, who jumps from stage to stage to attack India, cooperate with the Delhi police?
Will you cooperate with the Delhi police as the police is trying to establish a link and they may wish to question you as well?
Why should I? I'm a U.S. citizen. I have freedom of speech guaranteed by my U.S. Constitution. I have a right to remain silent, guaranteed by my U.S. Constitution. I have no obligation to speak to any foreign government.
As we said, Peter Frederick has been on the radar of Indian security establishment since late 2006, when he was noticed in the company of Bhajan Singh Bhinder. Why should India see him in any other way than as a terrorist's ally and friend?
Bhajan Singh, he's perhaps the most genuine, biggest-hearted humanitarian that I've ever known.
He's a terrorist, Peter, who is launching attacks on India. He's been associated with the OFMI as well. And you're saying you're friends with the terrorist?
Well, by what stand do you make that claim?
On all other counts, Frederick has simply fumbled and hemmed and hawed, not quite knowing how to answer basic questions about his intentions and motivations. He may never face justice in India, but amidst a storm of foreign propaganda, India today picks out those who wish this nation's ill. With Chaiti Narula in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Welcome back. Well, history's been made as a NASA rover has touched down in Mars, accomplishing the riskiest step yet in an epic quest to search for traces of life on the red planet. The American Space Agency successfully landed its Perseverance rover in a deep crater near the planet's equator called Jezero. The six-wheeled vehicle will now spend at least the next 2 years drilling into the local rocks, looking for any evidence of past life. It took a nail-biting 11.5 minutes for the signal confirming the landing to actually reach Earth. Engineers at NASA's Mission Control in California erupted in joy when the confirmation of touchdown came through. US President Joe Biden tweeted congratulations over the landing, saying that this proved once again that with the power of science and American ingenuity, nothing is beyond the realm of possibility. NASA is teaming up with the European Space Agency to bring the rocks home. Perseverance mission alone costs nearly $3 billion. This is the biggest, most advanced rover ever sent by NASA, and it's the ninth spacecraft since the 1970s to successfully land on the Mars.
Just put the first image from Perseverance on the surface of Mars. Just put the first image from Perseverance on the surface of Mars.
Now the amazing science starts, you know, and I'm so looking forward to the science that's come there. Every yard on the surface of Mars is a yard of Mars sample return to go collect these precious samples and bring them back to Earth.
Cricket and IPL in particular is recession-proof in India, and money is never a problem for the franchises when it comes to IPL auctions. It was supposed to be a mini auction, but records were shattered as always when it came to splurging money on all-rounders and fast bowlers. South African Chris Morris became the most expensive buy in this year's IPL auction.
Thank you. Even for those who've been very bullish about the economy, the IPL auctions for this season turned out to be a huge surprise.
So, 16.25.
Franchisees happily broke banks to lay hands onto the players, with all-rounders and fast bowlers selling like hotcakes. Chris Morris became the most expensive buy in the history of IPL, with Rajasthan Royals shelling out a whopping 16.25 crores for the South African all-rounder. Like Morris, other foreign players were in high demand, and Royal Challengers Bangalore got the next two big buys, roping in Kyle Jamieson for 15 crores and Maxwell for 14.25 crores. Krishnappa Gautam was the costliest Indian buy of the day at 9.25 crores, going to Chennai Super Kings.
24 Arjun.
Sachin Tendulkar's son Arjun was the last buy of the day at the auctions, with Mumbai Indians picking him up for his base price of 20 lakhs.
Mumbai Indians 20, that's it.
Indian off-spinner Harbhajan Singh went unsold in the first round of the auctions, but was eventually picked up by KKR for 2 crores. While Sunrisers got Kedar Jadhav. Delhi Capitals pumped in 2.25 crores for the services of former Australian and Rajasthan Royals skipper Steve Smith. Punjab Kings meanwhile got a bright talent in David Malan for 1.5 crores.
All the overseas slots are gone, so I can't...
However, there was surprise for some of the star international T20 batsmen with the likes of Jason Roy, Aaron Finch, Alex Hales, Evan Lewis and Martin Guptill finding no takers. From Pujara. Test specialist Cheteshwar Pujara's 50 lakh bid from Chennai Super Kings fetched a huge round of applause from the other franchisees who spent millions of dollars for the 57 players that were sold on the day. Sports Bureau, India Today.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.